Angry Guy here, and today we're discussing why women are the root of all evil. Women are the root of all evil. Why do I say that? Well, guys, let's get a little biblical for a moment, regardless if you believe in the Bible or not. Right? Let's go back to Eve. Eve in the Garden of Eden. We're told that there was no sin in the Garden of Eden until Adam and Eve sinned. Isn't this intriguing? How is it there was no sin in the Garden of Eden until Adam and Eve sinned, and yet there was a snake in the garden that was telling Eve to go and sin? So you would assume that the snake was evil then, right? You would assume that the snake was sinful then, because to attempt to deceive others is a sin in of itself. And yet, this is not what we are told. So, even going by the logic of those who wrote the story of Adam and Eve, the snake could not have been evil. The snake could not have been sinful because it clearly states that there was no sin in the Garden of Eden until Adam and Eve sinned. So, where does sin originate from? It's quite simple. Sin originated from Eve. Eve decided that she wanted more, despite that she was told not to do something and what the consequences would be. She chose to go with her feelings over reality. She chose feelings over facts. She was told what the facts are, what the outcome of a specific action would be, and she chose her feelings over the facts. You know what an act of evil truly is? Choosing feelings over facts. That is an absolute act of evil. It truly is. Making decisions based around feelings, irrespective of facts, are evil acts. The word evil, we can clearly see, is derived from Eve. Eve, evil. Eve, evil act. If you look at many of the biggest conflicts throughout history, at the center of these issues were a woman. Was a woman. Women have been leading men astray for since the dawn of time. Now, of course, it's not entirely the fault of men because our brains are wired a certain way. Our brains are rewired to provide and to protect for women. If they were not wired that way, then you would have a lot of men who would basically, after they're intimate, they would take off. And this is exactly the reason why Chad and Tyrone are not good choices, because these are those kinds of men. All right, they will pick as after recreational use is done, they pick up and they leave. And that shows you. Imagine if you have a society of Chad and Tyrone, and they're the only ones in society that are gaining intimacy and having children. You have a bunch of homes that will not have fathers. And you can see what the effect of that is on society, where roughly 75 to 80% of all men who are incarcerated come from fatherless homes. Poverty. What's one of the best indicators of poverty? A fatherless home. All of this goes hand in hand. It is the drive and a desire of the woman to have power and control over everything and everyone, and to be driven and guided entirely by her emotions, irrespective of facts. You know, while I like this, I really like the saying, facts don't care about your feelings. You have to remember that the only thing a woman can process and will ever choose to process are her feelings. The only thing that a woman is absolutely loyal to in this world are her feelings. She will trust her feelings over logic and reason. No matter how much reason, no matter how many facts are in her face, she will only ever change her ways when she realizes that her own survival is at risk. And even then, there are a lot of women who will throw survival out the window and pursue feelings. They will scorch the earth and then look around and wonder how they got there. And then they will blame the man for allowing it to happen. You should have done something. You should have stopped it. Why did you allow me to do this? Why didn't you try harder? And even there, she is not able to use any reason. She cannot take accountability for her actions. So then she blames the guy for not being able to control her and to prevent her from the acts that she did. This is the reality of all things, the reality of all conflict, the reality of everything bad that has occurred in this world originates from Eve. Guys, think about this whole notion. Oh, the snake made me do it. Do it. You know what God? You know how God cursed the snake? Well, here's the thing about that. She made the whole thing up. She looked for the nearest critter and she blamed them. And what did God say? Okay, so the snake will be cursed to spend all of his days on his belly and all this other stuff. God didn't curse the snake. What God did was he rebuked Eve. He knew exactly that she was lying. He knew exactly what the snake was like. She knew exactly what the snake was like. So when he said that he cursed the snake to spend the rest of his days on its belly and crawling forward on the earth and all of this stuff, that's how the snake was created in the first place. And Eve knew that. So God's curse on the snake was literally saying that the snake would remain exactly as it is. And Eve couldn't argue with him because she knew and he knew that she was lying. And that's how he struck back at her and got even. The truth of the matter is that, and this is what I believe, God's anger with Adam was not so much that he sinned and that he did and Adam did what God told him not to do. It's the fact that he decided to lie to him about it. It's about trust. It's about trust. If you have think about this carefully. If you have something and someone steals it from you and you confront them and they say, "I'm sorry, man, I took it. I was not in my right mind at the time, and I stole it and I sold it and I got my fix." You're going to be upset with them, but you're also going to be relieved that you know what they've done. And let's say this person does, they've done this a couple of times, but each and every single time they tell you the truth and they never lied to you. Eventually you'll say, "Well, yeah, I can't trust my stuff around this person." But you'll notice a pattern. I can't trust this person with my stuff, but if there's one thing that they are, they're not a liar. I remember a story a number of years ago that a former friend of mine told me. He said that a guy went into a bank and he tried to get money from the bank the wrong way. And ultimately the police came and the police didn't actually know who he was, because like there's a switch that the bank teller can hit in the bank and call for the police. The police got there very quickly, and when they came into the bank, the guy was still there. The bank teller hadn't pointed him out yet, and the police saw this guy. They went up to the guy and they just asked him, "Hey, are you the person who tried to take money from the bank the wrong way?" Now, you guys know what I mean by the wrong way. And he sighed and he goes, "Yeah, it's me." So, the police officers take him into custody and they asked him, why didn't you just lie? You could have just lied and walked away. And you know what the guy did? This was on the news, evidently. The guy looked at the police officer and he got furious with the police officer. And he said, listen to me. I might be a liar, but he said, no. He said, I might be a thief. I might be a thief, but I'm not a liar. He said, I might be a thief, but I'm not a liar. I'm not saying you should trust a thief, but you should never trust a liar. You can never, ever trust a liar because you can know a thief if you see a thief. All right. And very often, thieves are also liars and liars are also thieves, but they're not mutually exclusive. There are different reasons why people steal. And there are a lot of thieves who won't lie. They're they're a thief. They'll tell you they're a thief. If there's one thing that women are good at, it's lying. It is their greatest tool, deception. This is how they've toppled nations, through lies. Do you guys agree that women are the root of all evil? I want to know your thoughts in the comments, so let's talk about them there. All right? And also, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, never miss another video again, and like the video, because it tells YouTube you're enjoying the content and you want to see more of it, so YouTube will show you more. Let's talk more about this, and let me know if you agree that women are the root of all evil in the comments, and what your experiences have been with relationships and your perception of women and observing evil acts done by them. Let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away, and share.